have this chair here, and the last thing I want to do is to disturb any of this if I can help it. So I'm going to see if I can show you how to re-web underneath without moving anything. It's got a nice roll here. It does have springs. The springs seem to just be here. I am going to undo the tacks across the front and the same on the back. So underneath here we have our webbing, and in behind here we have the circular springs. Usually the webbing would be under here at the base, and then the springs take up some of the space and then into the top. This hasn't been done this way. It has been done from the top of the chair frame here. It does actually have 4 straps across. I've got American width here, which is a little bit wider, and because they've got 4 here and the width of the chair, I'm going to do the same. So let's see what I can show you. Having decided to put 4 in, I'm going to go slightly this side of the center and open it up. I had originally thought I'd do there and open from here to here, but I'm going to do either side just as it is underneath, from here to the back. Under here there is even more of this straw, so what I have to do now is undo the next layer without disturbing too much of here. It gets really quite frustrating doing a job like this, but I've found the tags here for the springs. The trouble is that they've cut them off right here. They should be a good couple of inches, so that's going to be a little bit fraught for me. I can put some blue tape around so I don't lose them as I undo it, because I can't lose those. I have to put them exactly where they came, so I'll put a little marker here so I know where the tie comes to on this side. That needs to be exact. This is 3.5 inches, so that's 7 inches of webbing. I'm going to take it from the center here out. Now I can't come all the way to the end here because I've got this leg in the way, which I'm going to assume comes to about there. We'll say that's about 9 inches. I'm going to try to make it as even as possible, so I think if I bring that over to 3/4, and that should give me enough space here to go across, but not to have to worry too much about evening it up here. It should be fine. Bringing it over slightly. Everything else is loose. I'm not going to staple the old webbing into place just yet. Pop this in. Putting it in as best I can because I can't go down from the top. And then, like I usually do, fold that under, but I'm going to make sure that the old webbing goes over the new webbing. I'm going to secure that down. Now I've got a piece of tape here showing where this has to come in line, and as you see I wasn't able to put my webbing further over. To avoid it, I had to remove the tie, whether I liked it or not. So let's put this in. Just pulled the back out, and I had to start pulling the second web out because it's a little further over. By measuring this all the way across, it comes to 16.5. So I am thinking if I put this inside edge at about 8, like that, that still allows this side to go at 8, and there's a gap. We've got 1/2 inch difference. So this is where I'm going to be pulling my new web. So I've popped this in, and I'm going to bring this down, resting it along there. See how tight I can get that in. I can do it a little bit tighter than that. There we go, I hope. Pull this in, and now usually I would tap it. And once I've got that in, I'm going to start stapling it. I'm going to cut that across there like that. Fold it under all of this. As you can see, there's the original webbing, and that's still on top. I have a piece of blue tape there to denote where the other tie is. I'll get this in. I found the webbing for this side. I'm going to find the one for the other side, and I'm going to pull them until they're about even, because they'll slide over the webbing underneath until they are about right. Once they are, I'm going to push that back slightly and secure this on top of the new webbing, on as good a webbing as I can find, because this is old. Fold it over. So I'll do it exactly the same way as it should be done. And I'll do the same on the other side. Just cut that tape off. Do not cut the string. See if I can undo that. Let's see if I can pull this one over far enough to hammer back in. I don't think I can, which is a bit irritating. These should be longer than it is. No, I can't. So I'm going to have to see if I can get that out. Now, I might, if I'm really careful, be able to stick that in using the knot to hold it in place. Just released the back here, so I'm going to put the webbing underneath so I can pull it through to the front like I did on the first one. Now I've secured the front, and the tie from the front that goes onto this side I didn't actually have to move, so that's really good. Now I've undone on this side and I cannot find the tie under here that should go onto this back. And I'll see when I undo this side if there's a tie on that side. In the meantime, I'm going to work out where this goes so I can pull this in really tight on this edge, because I need this in. I think that works. It feels more or less the same underneath. As I said, usually I would tap them to make sure they sound right, but it's awkward with this. Cut this and fold it back. I'll fold this over like I have on the other side, and then I will pull the webbing that was originally on it evenly and into place. Now the next thing I'm going to do before I undo this side is to secure this side in bottom and top. I'm going to go from about here over so I've got enough room to maneuver on that side. And again here. I'm just going to work my way for a second time into this corner. I do see a problem which I'm going to correct. I'm going to cut in a little bit across here on the top, and I'm going to fold that under. That's so when I put the new cover in, I can tuck it nicely down behind there. The people before had tacks everywhere. Really weird. I'm going to start on the bottom into this corner here and secure it. Only going to go midway here. And then I'm going to bring this down on top. This might need a little bit of help of being pushed into place. I'm just going to make my way over as best I can. I'm using 1/2 inch staples, so it should go in far enough to hold. So I'm going to finish off this side and put the new 2 webs in, and then I'm going to go acrossways like I would do normally. Because at the moment the webs underneath are kind of twisting. Until I've got them going acrossways, they're not going to hold straight. I've marked the tie here, and it comes down midway here. So when I pull this in, I've got to make sure that that's where it lines up. There should be another tie around about here. On this side, I didn't need to move it, so hopefully I won't need to move it on this side. I'll be very careful. Because this side is shaped, I have actually undone all of it. There's a tie here, so I'm going to start from the front. I'll remove that tie because my webbing will go underneath it, and I'll remove a couple of tacks from here so that I've got the width, and I'll do the same on the other side and thread it through like I would do normally. Again, I'm just going to do 1 web at a time because I don't want all of this getting too disturbed. Here we go. This is just a little bit time consuming, nothing else. I know that I need to put it at the end of here, so I'm not going to bother tagging it. It'll just go in when I'm ready to put it in. If you're unsure that you can pull the original webbing into place firmly, just secure it as you go on to the next set of webbing that you're putting in. And when you've got the side pieces in and woven into place, then re-pull all the webbing in for a second time and secure everything down. I think I got it more or less where I wanted it, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. As you can see, the new webbing underneath is holding everything in place. I don't need to sew the old webbing to the new webbing because the springs are holding that webbing into its original formation. This is just put here to hold everything back into place and push the springs back up into the chair. This will last a few more years, and if this happens again and these start sagging, the next upholsterer, all they have to do is just pull these out and then put new webbing underneath, so it's not webbing on webbing on webbing. I don't need to sew the old webbing to the new because it's just structural. I hope you have gained some information from this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell button if you want to hear more from me. A few thumbs up would be absolutely brilliant, and take care, see you later.